What is going on, everybody? What's going on? What's happening? It has it has been a time. It's been a time. I know it's been a while since I've done this. And I know it's a little unannounced and as far as what the topic is gonna be, we're gonna talk about two things mainly in this live. Actually maybe a third one. So as you can see, I'm gonna do this one on the fly like we used to do. Nothing planned out at all. We just gonna go with the flow, and then we gonna go from there. So let me see if I can get the chat open over here. Boom, there we go. What's up, Guap? What's up, Chip? What's up, Will? Uh, what's happening, Gary Crawling? Yeah, dang hot. Yeah, I know. It's hot. It is hot. Um, what's happening? What's happening? My monkey's lawn care and gardening DIY. What is happening? Hollywood, Maryland. I figured you meant Maryland. Yeah, yeah. I think I remembered you. That's when you were in the Maryland area. So yeah, man. I definitely appreciate y'all joining, and we're just gonna go ahead and jump into it. So the first things first. Today I hit 24,000 subs. 24,000 subs on YouTube. To me, I will say that is a blessing. Never really set out to think that the channel would blow up and become what it is and allow me to do what I do. And the thing is it's all because of y'all. It's all because of the views. It's all because of that. And for that, I just want to say thank you. I definitely want to appreciate all the support that everybody has given me and helping to grow the channel. And please continue to do that. Please continue to tell everybody about it. Hey, tell anybody that's out there in the lawn, they working on it. They trying to get their stuff together. Tell them about the channel. Tell them about the info. So, yeah, man, I definitely appreciate that and the growth of the channel. I want to keep growing it. I'd love to have me a like all the YouTubers do. Like they got their silver play button in the back. I'd love to get me a silver play button, but um, the main thing is I'm gonna just continue to grind, continue to learn, continue to put out good content and put out good information and bring to you all what you're really needing and what you're asking for. Trying to be as interactive with you all as possible. Speaking of being interactive, YouTube started up a new feature, like community feature. So you can now post to my channel pictures of your lawn and stuff like that, or if you've got questions about stuff. And you just want to chime in or just be like, yo, hey, Cam, I'm looking good over here. This is what the lawn is looking like. YouTube now allows subscribers to actually post to the community page, and you all can interact with each other and post things, and y'all can talk amongst yourselves and everything, and really kind of give the back and forth interaction of a real community like feel. So that's pretty dope. I think a lot of people have been asking for something like that. They've been saying, "I wish I could post you pictures and show you this and show you that." So now YouTube actually allows you to do that. So on the user end, I think you just got to go into there's a tab when you go to my channel that should say community. And you should be able to go into there. I did make a post in there a couple of days ago and just kind of ask people, hey, check out the feature, try it out. I did see a couple people were able to post pictures of their lawns and stuff in there, and they're looking good. So just make sure you're using that feature if you want to go in and pop some content up. Uh, yeah, man, I appreciate all the congrats. Appreciate all the congrats. Thanks. Yeah, Super TA. Yeah, man, it's been a while, man. It's been busy. So let's go ahead and jump into the second topic that we were going to talk about. After all the thank yous again, don't want to overlook that. I just appreciate y'all. Just thanks for all the support, and the way that the channel's been growing. That you've been supporting the We Working team for as long as y'all have. We've continued to put the content out, and now able to bring y'all products that we think are value added to your arsenal of things that you're doing to get your lawns together. So we're continuing to work on that and bring you all things that we feel that are needed and that are good opportunities for you all. So um, jumping into that, yeah, Super TA, I've been busy. Like it has been busy. And again, like I said, y'all know I now have a little one, and that's taken a lot of my priority. And I'm gonna just be 100% honest. That has been taking my priority in multiple different ways, and I've been loving it. And like I've been loving being a dad and having him out on the lawn doing stuff, and even having him out there. As much as I love it, it definitely slows you down from getting as much accomplished as what you think you would or you normally would be able to get done during the day. But it's nothing like it. I'm loving every moment of it. But it does limit time. It does limit my time. So what I think I'm going to do, there's going to be more of these. There's going to be more of these impromptu, and sometimes it may be 10 o'clock, and sometimes it may be 10:30, maybe 11. I'm a night owl, so it may be just me putting the content out and just giving it to y'all, and maybe it's only two or three of y'all in here, maybe it's nobody in here. But I'll record the live, and you all can go back and look at it, and then be able to get the content that way. Because to be honest with you, I don't have the hours to sit down and edit videos. I just don't. And I think this is what is going to is gonna this is what is going to become for a little bit. I'll still do videos. Of course I'll still do videos and stuff, but um, it's just that to be able to get more consistent content out there and get more information to you all, it may be more in a live type format. Yeah, get them started early. Yeah, man. And he is like he already knows how to use the Toro battery powered blower. He'd be like he's always out there that blow blow. So he already knows how to work the blower. I've had him out there blowing off the driveway. Like he already knows what the push mowers and stuff are. Um, he's like that Momo, that Momo. I was like, all right, buddy, it's time to go Momo. Let's go, Momo. So I've already had him out there behind the mower. He's strong for his. He's only a year and a half, and he can actually push the Time Master like on flat concrete. Year and a half old. He weighs what 22 pounds right now. He can move the Time Master on flat concrete, which he did it the other weekend, and I was thoroughly surprised because that Time Master is heavy. Like it is heavy, and he can already push it. He can for sure can push the Hudson. So I've had him out there pushing the Hudson, and yeah, man, it's nothing like it. Joe, yeah, the days are long, but the years are short. Yep, yeah. I've I'm realizing that because for some reason this week, it's seeming to set in of how fast he's growing up. Because he's saying more, he's talking more, he's realizing more stuff, he's getting more active in a lot of ways, and and I think it's all starting to set in and register of how fast he's really starting to grow up, and it's setting in a little bit this week. I don't know why, but it's just setting in. pushing the mower. Yeah, pushing the mower. Yeah, he loves pushing the mower. He loves it. He loves pushing the mower. So yeah, man, let's see how long that lasts. Hopefully it lasts a while. And he wants to be like Dada and loves being outside because he loves being outside right now. Um, so like I said, with that being said, videos and stuff still will be coming. But I will probably do more lives where I may just pop in. Like I said, it may be a late night pop in, and boom, here's the info, here's the content, and whoever is able to join, you can join. And always remember, if you can't catch it live, you can always come back and watch the replays and everything. Leave comments down in the bottom if you've got questions and things like that. And y'all know I try to answer all of the questions and stuff that come in, and I'll get to them as soon as I can. So yeah, I look forward to more of these coming out, and this will be a format that I'll probably be using a little more often, just because I can come in, I can talk, I can take some pictures, I can show you all some stuff. You all can interact, you can ask questions and all of that. If you're able to join it live, and then from there, we can go from there. And this is just a probably a more frequent format that I'll be able to do it. And like I said, I'm a night owl right now, so I can carve out 30, 45 minutes into an hour or something like that, and then just get y'all the content. We have a little live and kick back and do what we do. So um, that is topic number two that we've done, and I'm gonna keep running through this. And if you've got any questions or anything, as always, just go over there and pop them in the chat, and we'll go on to the third topic that we were gonna talk about. Well, yeah, yeah, this will be the third. I'll make that a fourth topic. But so y'all saw my post. I was out in Oregon last week for the Mountain View Seed Field Day, and oh my goodness, it was amazing. So just being able to be out there, uh, finally get to shake hands and meet the team and the company, Mountain View Seed. I've been working with um, number of the people there at Mountain View Seed for at least a solid past 2 3 years. And through conversation, phone conversations, and email, it has been great. You can get somewhat of a feel for a person and the vibes from the company, but it's nothing like being able to finally meet someone face to face, shake hands, feel the energy, feel the vibe, and it was great. It was great. I will say from the time that I got there to the time that I left, um, and I had a red eye out on that on that Thursday or Wednesday morning. So from the time that I got there to the time that I left, I felt like I was welcomed. I felt like I was a part of the team. Um, and they definitely have one of those family type environments. Everybody was just so welcoming, and it was refreshing. I will say, it was definitely refreshing to be able to be out there, um, and enjoy and be able to see where it all begins, where it all begins. So, um, y'all know I've been rocking with Mountain View Seed for probably 5 years now, and released Elm Street Elite seed blend just last fall, and it will be available this year. So if you're looking to get ready for your fall overseedings and renovations and things like that, the seed is available. Start putting your orders in. I know when you're like, Cam, it's just June or July. Yeah, I know. But if you're doing a full renovation, it's really about time for you to start spraying stuff out within the next, probably within the next 2 weeks or so. It's time for you to start spraying out, getting some holy water down if you plan to do a full renovation. So seed is available. Phoenix fertilizer is available. So you have the option of being able to use both of those products, combine them together, and boom, you got the we working pack right there. You got everything you need, seed and fert, to make sure you get that lawn that you're looking for. So yeah, man, being able to be out there in Oregon, and see the fields, see the production, see the test plot, see the trials that they're running. There's a lot of stuff that they're doing in the background, things that they're testing, things that they're looking to bring to the market, and I'll get that out in a video. But for one, Fine Fescue is one that they're looking to bring. They will be bringing a new Fine Fescue to the market. That'll be a part of their platinum lineup that they've released, Optimum Iconic 365 SS, and they will have Vanguard is what it's going to be called. Going to be called Vanguard. That is going to be a new Fine Fescue blend, that's gonna be coming up. Joe, are you dropping a video on the Mountain View trip? Yes, I am. I did record a good amount of content. I didn't really get a lot of the content that I wanted to get, because it was a lot of interaction. It was a lot of meeting the team. It was a lot of getting the feel for the team. We were having a lot of good conversations. Um, just about management practices and stuff that they're working on, stuff that I'm working on, things that I want to do, and then like just where the company is going. Some of the things like this, it was a lot of meeting the team. Like I've really been working with this company, for working together for about 2-ish years now, 2-3 years, um, and it just felt like I needed to spend the time with them and not have a camera in everybody's face, trying to record and get content and stuff like that. Even though I did do a lot of recording, so I'll see how I can chop all that content up, and get you all a pretty good video that I'll be able to put out. Um, any new cultivars coming? Yes, there are some new cultivars coming out in the fescue arena. They are working to get some of those out, um, and they should be able to see. One of the things they're aiming for is some additional gray leaf spot disease resistance. So they're working on some things there. So yeah, new cultivars are in the trials. Don't know, they're in the trial phase. Don't know where they'll shake out and end up at, but they're always advancing. They're always looking for something else. So yes, from a Maryland standpoint, anything with that increased disease resistance in it will be beneficial, because that's going to be the next topic that we about to talk about is disease pressure. Um, put down by advanced lawn fungicide. Yeah, getting them fungicides down. Again, that's going to be a part of the next topic that we're going to talk about uh, here in a second. And let me just check something real quick, y'all. Let me make sure. Let me check something in the background real quick, y'all. Give me 1 second while I look at something. Okay. All right. Bet. Good to go over here now. Now I gotta figure. You gotta figure that out. um. Yeah. So. Again, man, just a great team. There is definitely a um, family type energy. Family type. I mean, it is a number. Number of them are related and a part of the family business. But again, being able to get out there, see the fields, kind of understand how they go about their processes. Um, get to see their seed production, how they get things clean. They didn't have a lot of things running right then, but they're getting ready for harvest. So they're kind of cleaning things up and getting things organized, and getting the shipments and things out of seed that they currently have, getting that out of the warehouse so they can be ready for harvest. So right now they're prepping up for harvest season, to get the new cultivars out of the field. Well, not new cultivars, but fresh seed. I'll say fresh seed out of the fields right now. The new cultivars that they are working on wouldn't be a release for this year. Like I said, they're still in their trial phases right now. So we'll have to see. Well, they're checking to see how they shake out in some of the in-depth information and some of those trials and things like that. So um, they are working on some new cultivars that will be coming to the market. So I was glad to see that. And then they also compared in a lot of their test plots and things. They have some of the new kids on the block in comparison to some of their stuff. Like Daybreak was one that they had. They had a plot of Daybreak there. I didn't see any Xanadu. They did have Bonfire. They had Bonfire, the fescue blends Bonfire. They had a test plot of that compared to a lot of their cultivars that they're running there currently with Mountain View Seed, and also some of their trial stuff. And I can tell you, I don't see a whole lot of difference with it. One thing I will say is the Bonfire did have like it probably was a pretty dark color, like from a color perspective. But from a leaf texture and everything else, and then too, you got to factor in disease resistance, drought resistance, and a lot of those other performance factors other than just color. And then even when it did come down to the color, it wasn't a whole lot of a difference in between the color. Maybe you get a shade darker if you're really looking for it, and you get the light just right. But it wasn't a whole lot of difference in the color. You could see it, but um, yeah, it all depends on how the other performance factors work out. And I haven't compared Daybreak to anything. So haven't seen didn't like I said, I didn't see any Xanadu out there. That's another one of the new cultivars that's out on the block. That's Providence is another one. I think they did have a plot of Providence, so I'm trying to remember that one. I had to go back and look at the videos and see which ones they had. So it was good to see that they understood what their competition was. They knew who the competition was, and they are already comparing themselves against where the competition is, so that they can see, so they can visually see where they stack up. And their test plots were cut at an inch and a half. Their test plots are cut at an inch and a half, and they look good. They look good. Like everything out there, like all the test plots, they just look good. From the fine fescues to the ryes, they had a bunch of the ryes out there. They had bent grass. They had some bent grass plots. Along because they now have the Centennial bent grass that's released. Yeah, so fine fescue, rye, bent grass, and fescue and KBG. Then of course the 365. So it was it was good, man. It was a good time getting to see it. And man, is the climate different out there. It is. So we were back here getting dumped with rain in Maryland. I think it was raining before I left. It rained the whole time that I was gone, and then I went on vacation as soon as I got back. Landed on Wednesday last week. Thursday we were gone on vacation, and that's when I kind of put up the clip to kind of put in. Y'all need to get your fungicides out at max rate. So one of the reasons for me saying that is, even as I was making that cut, even the cut before that, like earlier in the week before I left to go to Oregon, I could start seeing disease forming in the lawn. I just did not have time or the energy to get a fungicide out before I left. I wish I did because I knew I was probably about a week over when I needed to get a fungicide. I was probably a week, almost 2 weeks lapsed from when my next fungicide application probably should have went down. I knew I was 2 weeks over, and I was like, you know what? Like I just don't have it in me. I'll deal with it when I get back. Little did I know that it was going to rain as much as it did and be as wet as what it was the entire time that I was gone. So, what that leads me to is my yard is trash right now. I will be 100% honest with you. It is looking rough. Like the entire lawn has brown patch in it. There's maybe a section that's probably, my backyard is probably at least 50 to 60% of the backyard has brown patch in it. So is what it is. Front yard, probably 70% of the front yard has got brown patch in it. Test plot with the ryegrass is, it's riddled all through there. So um I will show y'all. I mean, and this is one of the things that I do. Like I tell you all, like I am not perfect. I try to stay on top of stuff. I try to stay up on top of my things as much as I can. Like I was saying earlier, like time has been limited, and the weather conditions, just like I said in the last video, right now you're going to be battling the environmental conditions, and those two came together, perfect storm of things that went wrong, and it just is what it is. Um, the lawn was overgrown. It was holding moisture. And again, another reason why I tend to cut my backyard lower is because of the shade, and also because of the fence that I've got. Like I just have less airflow back there in the backyard. Um, Monkey grass 7 days. Oh yeah, well that's all the rain you got. Um, we got we got it within a week's time, and because I got a not a rain station, I've got a weather station here at the house. I bought one this year. Um, weather station said over the past 7 days we have had 2.5 inches of rain. And I think at the time it was like the past 5 days. It was like within 5 days we had like 2.5 inches of rain. So then humidity was through the roof. Like the humidity was, that's what I like when I was outside, like before I went on vacation, and I made that little clip on Instagram, and I was like, look, y'all need to get fungicides out max rate, shortest interval, as much as quickly as you can if you don't already have them down. Yeah, 5.5 inches over the month. Yeah, I think we had more than that over the month. Let me double check and see what, let's see what it says for the month. Um, yeah, June here at my place, uh, 3.25. We're at 3.25 in June. 3.25 in June is what we've got. So yeah, we got 2 inches, almost three. We got 2 inches while I was gone just last week. We got 2 inches of rain just last week. So the month of June we're at yeah, three and a quarter. So and it's just the way that the rain came down with the temperatures, and it just stayed wet for that extended period of time, and then I was just overdue for my next fungicides to go down, um, and it just happens. And again, overgrown lawn. That's why I had to make that wet mow. I was telling y'all about making a wet mow, um, because at that point it was I could tell it was coming. I could see it. I could see it. And I knew it was coming. Um, and before we left, like I told my wife, I was like, it's just a matter of how bad the yard is gonna look when we get back. I was like, I know it's gonna look bad. I know I have disease, and I knew this. And I was actually telling some of the people out at Mountain View, I was like, my yard is just gonna depend on how bad it's gonna be by the end of the week. And at that point in time, like I knew it was coming. I could see it. I knew the weather conditions. I knew I hadn't put a fungicide down, and I was overdue for my next application. And then we get hit with the heat and humidity right after that. It's just a perfect storm. So what I tell people is that's why I stay on top of my applications. I stay on top of my applications, um, because you never know what the weather conditions are going to be. You never know when it's going to change that quickly. And we had already been getting all the late night, the late evening, afternoon thunderstorms and showers. My wife even said one day she walked out of the house and was like, "It just smells like wet. It just smells wet out here." I was like, "Yeah, whenever whenever that is happening, it feels I say it feels like disease outside." Because that's exactly what was going on. Um, is rhythm required for a rain dance? No, because I ain't got any. Rob Turner, it doesn't require. Nope, it doesn't require any any rhythm at all. Cause sometimes it just comes down. I ain't the one with it. I got two left feet over here. Um, let me jump in here and and see what these questions are. So here I was going to ask about throwing down HG and water then. Joe, I mean, being that you were throwing down a granular, yeah, you'd be fine. You'd be fine with putting down a granular, and getting it watered in. Not an issue there. Um, yeah, you should be. Can you bounce back from brown patch within the same season? Yeah, you can. It just depends on how bad it is. It depends on how bad it is. Like, at what phase do you catch it at? Um, if it's in the early stages, a lot of times you can head it off. I will say mine is pretty advanced. Like, there will be damage. There will be damage. How much it recovers, uh, I don't know. I'll get my fungicides. Well, I got one out. I went down with Armada and Mefenoxam last Thursday. So last Thursday, I went down with Armada, Maxerate, Methanoxam, Maxerate for Pythium. Armada is a group 3 and 11 fungicide. So it's kind of in the propiconazole family. I would probably pull in Clary's 336, because there seems there was a little bit of dollar spot in there also. So I'll grab some T methyl and a Zoxy. So I will be running my fungicides on the shortest interval, which is between 10 and 14 days, just to try to knock it back as much as I can and preserve as much of the turf as I can. So uh, it's kind of on like one section of the backyard right now. Uh, the one half over by my raised garden bed, and just kind of wrapping around the area kind of further to the back. Seems to be in a little better condition. It's not looking the best, but it's not as bad as the other side is. So I forgot, instead of me, I can actually show you all because I did take pictures. which was whole part of me needing the 30 minutes for me to get ready. So I can kind of talk y'all through or show y'all the pictures. Boom. And now let me. All right. So this portion here not looking too bad, and as you can see, it's a couple things that's going on with it being waterlogged. For one, it is definitely waterlogged the entire yard, but you can see how the color is just as a whole, it is just off. My color's not where it typically is. And again, like this is just a matter of probably a week and a half, 2 weeks time. I could see it coming. I could see it coming. Um, so we'll go back. That's kind of overall picture of where it's at. This is the side kind of over closer to where my raised garden bed is. Fence line here. This area here stays wet. Like it's probably one of the wetter sections of what the lawn anywhere, even in the back in the shade. For some reason, this area here it just holds a lot of moisture. So kind of see what it's looking like there. Kind of another top down shot, just kind of looking at where it's at. It is also still wet, so some of this will uh, recover. Some of it will bounce back a little bit, and all of it is not strictly disease, but a lot of it is. So a lot of it is like the browning portion is a lot of disease in here. Some of this in its earlier stages, this is probably just overgrown, waterlogged, and just needs to dry out. And I should be able to get a little bit of bounce back in some of those areas. In this one, you can kind of see from a close up what we're looking at as one of the diseased areas here. You can kind of see the lesions and everything on the blade, the loss of color that we're seeing there. So a lot of brown patch. I was seeing some of the leaf blades that also look like it may be a little bit of dollar spot in there. So may have a little bit of dollar spot in there too. So uh, when it gets to this phase of it, a lot of times you're getting a combination of a couple of those diseases there together. So it's a kind of a stand back. I cut it this evening too, so I was fighting that the pictures look so dark because I was getting these done right because I wanted to go live and just give y'all the information. This was like right as I got done. Gave my son a bath and got him down and went straight outside and cut. And again, it was a wet mow. Like the leaf blades weren't wet, but they still had moisture there. Like you can still see as I was pushing the mower through, you could still see like wet moisture on the wheels as I was mowing through. So this is what we're looking like overall. Like so that's like I said, some of the yellowing portions of it, I'll probably get some recovery. The brown areas, I may get some recovery, but there'll be some permanent damage that'll just be there, and we'll recover in the fall, and it's just kind of one of those things. It is what it is. It happens to the best of us. I saw it coming, though I just didn't have time, didn't make the time. I'll say most of my applications have been made in the dark. Like for the past 2 years. The past 2 years, like most of my applications have been made after 9 p.m. Like most of mine have been made in the dark. And the thing is, I got a floodlight out here in my backyard that helps me be able to see enough. But I also spray my lawn in a grid, and I do it every single time the exact same way. and then I go 2 passes across my lawn. So I do it every single time the exact same way. Honestly, I could do it blindfolded if I needed to. Uh, so not really worried about that portion of it, but I just didn't make the time to go do it. And at this point in time, this is what happens. Like this, this is what happens. So it is what it is. Like I said, and we'll get through it. We'll get some recovery on it, and it'll bounce back, especially after it dries out. It's still waterlogged and needs to dry out. Hopefully we'll get another. It's supposed to be 100 degrees tomorrow. I think on. Oh, my camera just went out because I didn't put my other battery. Y'all give me 1 second. Y'all give me 1 second. All right. I think we back now. I think we back. I didn't have my continuous battery plugged into my camera, and the camera went out. All right. So we are back. We back. We back. We back. We back. We back. We back. All right, cool. Appreciate y'all for sticking with me there for a second. Um, yeah. So, yeah, like we were talking about, just kind of going through showing the pictures of kind of what the yard is looking like. Um, it just is what it is. I knew I needed to get my fungicide out. It lapsed. I just didn't have the time for it. Didn't make the time for me to go to get the application done, and paid the price for it. Paid the price, or I am going to be paying the price for it here for a little while. Um, but I bring the real to y'all. I bring it just as it is. Like it is. I've always said it. Like I'm not perfect. Like I don't have the perfect lawn. I go through the exact same struggles that y'all go through. So I just wanted to make sure that I brought that information to you and let you know. Make sure you're going out with your fungicides right now, especially if you're in the DMV area. But in a lot of these areas, we've just been getting so much rain um, for long extended periods of time. Make sure you're rotating your fungicides. I've got videos on rotating your frac groups on frac, not frat, but frac groups on your fungicides. Like you'll see those numbers up in the corner. Group 3 and group 11, of course, are the most common ones, which fall into the propiconazole and azoxystrobin camp. But make sure you are rotating those fungicides because they're critical. Right now, with the amount of rain, with the amount of humidity that we're having, uh, that's just where we're at. And also, you're probably going to want to run those on the max rate shortest interval. So you'll even see it on the label. The label tells you when the seeds pressure is high or at its highest. And right now, with the amount of moisture, humidity, and heat that we have, we are at the highest. It will recommend you go down at the max rate shortest interval, and that varies depending on which fungicide that you are using. A lot of time, you can. A lot of times, if you're going group 3 or 11, they're 10 to 14 days is the shortest interval. But make sure you're looking at your label, you're following the label, and even using a combination of those fungicides definitely helps. Also, going down with multiple modes of action to help you battle all of this disease pressure as much as you can. So um, I'm gonna go over here into the comments and I'm gonna jump in here. What's good, Polo? We working, baby. We working, baby. I see you. Popped in here. Appreciate you joining up. Um, TZ, how's the? So I'm gonna go through I'm gonna go through the comments and get caught up. So yeah, that's all I've got um from an overall standpoint. That's kind of where we're at. We'll battle through it, and I'll show it to y'all and let y'all see what it's looking like. See how much it recovers. See how much it doesn't recover. Because I know there's gonna be some damage. Like it's not gonna fully recover. So we'll see. We'll see how it turns out. Okay, so let me see. Where do I? Let me see. Pick up. I think I answered all of that. Answered all of that. We'll get down. Grand Slam GLS. Yeah, I saw the new Rise posted on the new MTAP. MVS is killing it with the Grand Slam GLS and home run, and those look good. They look good. Those cultivars look good. And one of the things that they even pointed out, is like, yeah, they feel like the race to get to the darkest color or the darkest green ryegrass is basically kind of peaking out because they're starting to lose some of the other benefits of a lot of the cultivars as they start to get darker and darker. So they're losing some performance in other areas as they're getting to those extremely darker green uh, cultivars, especially in the ryegrass camp. So they've even kind of tailored out how dark they want to go from a genetic standpoint, and you can look at it with, uh, I think it's Fireball and Hat Trick. Are like the darkest green ones. I think everybody's out there talking about how dark green they are, but they also have the downside of less disease resistance, and they're more prone to some of those things in that performance area. So color isn't always everything, and I continue to say that. I know I've said it here before, but color isn't always everything when you gotta keep battling everything else that goes along with it. With the reduced disease resistance and more susceptibility to a lot of the other things that you're looking for from a performance standpoint. So, yeah. Um, Mr. Rain. Yeah, humidity is crazy. Yeah, everybody's agreeing with it with where we're at. Yeah, it's crazy, man. You just walk outside and immediately start sweating, and you can almost see the air. And we ain't talking about because it's cold outside. Yeah, I know y'all been getting dumped on in Kentucky. Polo's been talking about that. Um, also, uh, he was asking what camera am I using. This is the Sony ZV-E10. Is the camera that I'm using with the Six Sigma 16 millimeter lens that's on it right now. And I didn't even set any of my lights and stuff up. Like, so this is incandescent light that's above me, and one of the bulbs is out on it, and it's the lighting is pretty poor in here right now, and it's still coming out fairly decent, decent there. But yeah, Sony ZV-E10 with the Sigma 16 millimeter. Um, got him in our backyard. Yep. Yeah, at a certain point when the disease pressure gets so high, like it's just it just it's inevitable. Like you can only do so much. You can only do so much. Um, so it just kind of is what it is. You need a real mower, my guy. Like I don't have time to be dealing with a real mower. I'm gonna be honest with you. I got the Hudson, and that's all that I want to deal with a real mower. I had it. I had my backyard down to an inch and a quarter all last year in preparations of me going to a real mower. I ain't got time to be dealing with no real mower. I need to be. It's just a lot of people say that like, hey, yeah, it like once you get the hang of it and all of this and the maintenance on it is not that bad. I ain't got the time to be learning another mower and be dealing with making sure the bed knife is cutting properly and making sure everything is lined up right, because it's enough for me to deal with the Hudson, which is very little. It takes very little to do it on the Hudson, and it's like I have to have the time and capacity to go learn that piece of equipment, and right now I don't. I need to be able to. A lot of times I have enough time to get out there and get the job done and get on to something else. I ain't got to, I don't have the time to learn a new piece of equipment and new maintenance practices and all of that stuff on it. And my backyard is too confined for me to get a real mower. Because being able to make my turns and stuff up against the fence, it is a nightmare already with the I'll say it's bad with the time master, but I could only imagine what it would be like with a real mower, uh, because I wouldn't want to get a small real mower because again, time is of the essence. So I would need to have at least a GM 1000, if not 1600, because I I need I can't be out there all day trying to cut it. And stepping down from my 30-inch Time Master to anything smaller than that is just going to take me more time. And time is something that I do not have right now. I don't have extra time. So I will continue to, and then like where I want to be, like I said, I was gonna go down that real more maybe when I've got enough time and I've got some additional time on my hands to be able to play around with it and get back down to it. Um, Again, it was I was at an inch and a quarter last year, and it took some additional paying attention to the lawn. Like I didn't have to do a whole lot of extra stuff to it at that lower height of cut, but I just had to pay attention to the lawn a lot more, because I had a shorter time period to react to if something was going awry. Like you had to get on it, you had to get on it quick. So I don't see a real mower other than the Hudson. I'm using the Hudson out on the test plot. Other than using that, that is all I'm gonna be real mowing at this time right now. um, yeah. Then you think it's about to happen to a lot of us. Yeah. I mean, I hope it doesn't. I hope it doesn't happen to a lot of us. But the weather conditions are there for it to happen to a lot of us. Like I said, I don't want that to happen to everybody, which is why I'm kind of putting it out there. Make sure you're getting your fungicides down. Make sure you're getting your fungicides down, because they work. That they they definitely work. Um, yep. Rob Turner talk about how much rain and stuff they got. Evan, have you tried the Eagle 20? It worked wonders on Gray Leaf Spot. Yep, that is in my rotation. I actually got some on the way. That will be my next application. Being that I just went down with Armada Methanoxum, I will be rotating to Eagle on my next application. I'll probably be running a phosphite in between there. And yeah, that's Armada, Eagle. So the next one I'll probably run Eagle and T methyl will probably be the application that I go down with on the next rotation, and then I'll rotate back to probably propiconazole and something else. It'll probably be time for methanoxam again because I'll skip a rotation with it and then go back with it. So that'll probably be my third rotation of fungicide. So yeah, I like Eagle. Eagle definitely is one of those staples. That's typically what I'm running: Armada, Eagle, Methanoxam, propiconazole. I don't run a whole lot of azoxystrobin, and I run T methyl. So that's normally and phosphites. Those are normally the five fungicides that I rotate throughout the season. Um, how's the perennial ryegrass holding up? Looks like trash right now. It was looking good last week. Like it was. I told you, like the whole yard is just struggling right now. All the water and the disease. Like the entire yard is like my front yard is trashed. Like I said, I went on and cut my back because it needed to get cut because it was just holding moisture and I needed to get it cut. Hopefully tomorrow it's gonna be 100 degrees and it'll continue to dry it out because it needs to dry out. So the perennial ryegrass is not looking the best. Like I said last week, before I went to Oregon, it was looking good. Like everything was on the come up with the perennial ryegrass. So I was I had to figure out what was going on with it, and it just seemed like it continued to be hungry. And I finally started doing some liquid applications on it, and it was starting to come around, and it was starting to look good and starting to look tight, and then this happened. Like so, yeah, I'll show all of this to y'all. I just haven't had a chance to get out there, and I cut the backyard on its own, and it was dark after that point, and I was like, all right, cool. I'll just let everything be. And then with it being 100 degrees tomorrow, and that ryegrass is cut at an inch, I was like, I'm just going to let it ride out for the next 2 days until it cools back off, because I don't think it's not going to grow very much within these next 2 days anyway. So I was like, I'm gonna just let it ride out these next 2 days, get through the heat, and then once we get through the heat, then I'll get out there and I'll get another cut. I'll get a cut back on it, and see what we're looking like. Um, yep, that Pythium is a beast. Like Pythium is a beast. Like that's really what stopped me. That's really what started me learning, like really educating myself about lawn care and turf management, and like that's really what got me there. Is I got wiped out by Pythium, and I didn't know what the heck happened, and I was putting everything else down, like the azoxystrobins and propiconazole, and it was doing nothing. And the grass just kept dying. It just it just kept dying. And that's really what Pythium is what got me down the educational route and the research route of turf management. So, and here we are. It is definitely a beast. I will say, um, running phosphites definitely helps with Pythium. I've seen a huge reduction in Pythium, to the point that I really haven't seen it since I started running phosphites. So running phosphites is definitely there's a couple of them out there on the market that you can look into, and see where that takes you. So yeah, try running phosphites if you continue to have issues with Pythium. I normally, when disease pressure is high, I normally run my phosphites on a 14-day interval, 10 to 14-day interval. I'll run phosphites. It is a preventative. It's not a curative. It is a preventative application to make. Boom, boom, boom. Every 2 weeks. Yep, yep, yep. Um, Handling fungicides in Montgomery. Montgomery does have a lot of. They've got some interesting. I haven't read their fungicide portion, their fungicide side of the house yet. I've read their pesticides, what y'all are allowed because I'm in PG. So um, I don't know. I don't know. You'd have to check. You'd have to check the ones uh that I just listed, and whether, like I said, I typically run for my fungicides in my rotation is propiconazole, mefenoxam, eagle, and T-methyl are the ones that I'm missing out one. Did I say eagle? Yeah, maybe I said that. Y'all can go back and watch it. But yeah, those are the ones that I typically run. You would have to check from a regulation standpoint what you are allowed to use in that county. I would go to the Maryland pesticide website. The Agriculture Department of Agriculture, they should have it there, and be able to go in, and it should be under the pesticides and stuff, and just see what it says. I know Montgomery County's got some weird pesticide regulations and everything, strict. I call them weird, but strict regulations. Yeah, um, from a pesticide standpoint. So I can't put I can't I don't know them right off top. So I'm gonna just send you to the source to be able to go to find that out. Um, can you speak on these agents and moisture management products? So I would say wetting agents for sure. Wetting agents do have a benefit, especially with holding moisture and distributing. I won't say holding moisture. I'll say distributing moisture within the soil. Wetting agents are known and proven to be beneficial in that aspect of it. The moisture management products, I don't know. I would, to me, I would just recommend going with a wetting agent, a quality wetting agent, and applied properly. The thing with wetting agents is for them to get the best bang for your buck and to get the most benefit out of the product, they must be applied properly. And most of them need to be applied with a fairly high rate of water for them to get into the soil and to work properly. Wetting agents, you want them to get into the soil. You don't want them sitting on the leaf blade. They don't do anything for the plant. They can, some of them, depending on which ones you're using, can be harmful to sitting on the plant. So most of those you need to either apply them with a water volume carrier, or to have them watered in almost immediately after making the application. So if it were me, I would recommend you finding a quality wetting agent if you were looking for something that was going to help with moisture management. Heritage has a number of them. I've heard good things about the ones that Heritage runs, and I think Ryan Knorr also has a wetting agent. Sokor, I think he has a wetting agent also. So that would be my recommendation along that line of products. Um, what happened to the Earthwise? I still got it. I still got the Earthwise. It just doesn't compare to the Hudson. Like it does not compare to the Hudson at all. And I'm not gonna use the Earthwise on the backyard. It's just too big. Like my backyard is too big to use a 18-inch mower or a real mower on the back of it. Nah, I time is of the essence, and I need a 30-inch. To be honest with y'all, to be 100% honest with y'all, I want a. I'm thinking about buying a riding mower, like something like either a stand on or a zero turn. That's gonna be anywhere from 36 to 42, 48 inches, to be able to cut my yard. Why? Simply time. Like I can get out there and I can knock it down and be done in very little time. And I think I can get a higher quality cut, which is what I'm looking for. So I think cutting that 2 inches, I could get a higher quality cut and be able to get it done a lot faster. I can also use it to help get up all of these leaves. Like when the fall comes, I can just hook the sweeper behind it and I can get leaves up a whole lot faster than what I currently do using the backpack blower. So I am considering if I can find the right deal on either give me a stand on or a zero turn uh, mower. That's where I'm almost in that market. I actually went and talked to the shed manufacturer or installer about a week ago. So I'm looking at potentially getting a shed put in the back. I get a shed put in the back. The next thing that I'm getting after I get the shed put in the back is probably gonna be something that I'm gonna ride, and I'm gonna be done walking this yard for the most part, unless it gets wet and stuff like that. So, uh, yeah, that's really what I'm thinking about. So, Earthwise is still good. It just has its times of when I'm using it. With all the rain that we're getting, should we consider holding off on watering in this heat? Um, no. Yes, you should hold off watering. If you got the amount of rain that we received, like I said, I received almost, I think it was what, almost 2 inches of rain in the past 5 days. The lawn doesn't need any more water. Like right now, my lawn is waterlogged. I don't know what yours is, and I don't know how much rain you got in your area. But if you've gotten over an inch of rain in the past 5-ish days, um, you'll be good. Take a look at the yard, see what it's looking like. Um, it may not be the greenest, just because of the heat, just sun beating down on it. But as long as the grass blades aren't needling up, and you're not seeing those color changes in the lawn, as far as like that grayish, maybe bluish grayish color in the lawn, where you're starting to see drought stress into the plant, I think you could hold off, because I am like I said, I cut my backyard today, and it still had moisture. Basically, the tires were wet. Like I could see the moisture on the tires, and it hasn't rained in 3 days. It hasn't rained in 3 days, and 3 days or 2 days, 2 or 3 days, but the lawn still has that much moisture in it, and it still feels soft and mushy. So it it even as hot as it is right now, my lawn and probably most lawns do not need any additional water, even as hot as it is, given the amount of rain that we got here in Maryland. And I know you're in. I think you were saying you were in Maryland too. But depending on your area, how much rain you got, you probably can hold off. Yeah. Okay. Next one. Next one. Appreciate you, Polo. I see you jumping in here answering that question. Appreciate you. Um, Wedding ages. Boom, boom, boom. Yeah, Polo. I think we see the don't skip watering your grass, but we just got the rain. You had your rain weeks ago, or at least like a week and a half or so ago. We just got done getting hammered in like 2 days, like 2 3 days ago. Um, and I think that's gonna depend also on the amount of it's gonna depend on the amount of sun exposure that you're getting also. So if you've got shady areas and microclimates and things like that, um, I was looking at my yard, even my full sun areas in the front, they're doing just fine, other than the disease that's in them. But That's why I was saying you got to make sure you're looking at your yard and make sure you're not seeing drought stress and anything in there. But we just got hammered with rain. Like stuff around here needs to dry out. Like the yard is mushy. Like I made sure I went a different direction than what I normally do to cut my yard because it's so soft and mushy right now. We need some drying out. That was another reason why I cut it today, is because I need it to dry out. Um, yep, you get behind on them fungicides, man. It's hell to pay for it. You get behind on it, but we'll be all right. I mean, it just is what it is. It just is what it is. Well, I was looking at Polo's comment. comment. Can't have a party in your lawn without your permission if you're not protected. Yep, yep. It doesn't take much, and it doesn't take long. It's a matter of a week's time, and it'll be gone, gone. Doom, doom, doom. Yep, yep. Yeah, thinking about a 32-inch stand on. Yeah, me too. I was thinking about 36 is what I'm thinking about. 36 is where I'm really thinking. Um, yeah, I want to stand on, to be honest with you. I want to stand on, but I want Camden to be able to drive and ride and everything else. I can't do that with a stand on. So I can get him out on the mower earlier if I had like a ride on zero turn or lawn tractor. I can get him out in the yard earlier than I can with a stand on. So that is the battle that I am internally having, because if it was just up to me, it would hands down be a stand on. Hands down, it would be a stand on. So that's what I'm battling there. What's happening, Lloyd? What's going on? Um, get the robot, man. I can't stand them robots. Man, them robots. They don't cut at. They don't. they don't cut as good as. Nah, man. I can't do the robots. I can't do the robots. All right, Rob Turner. I see you out of here. Appreciate you stopping by, man. Appreciate you for coming through. And yeah, man, it's all good. Get you some rest, cause I'm finna get out of here too. I'm surprised. I'm surprised all of y'all still hanging in here. I'm trying to get to the bottom of. I'm trying to get to the bottom of the list, so I can go to bed. Doom, doom, doom. Yeah, I can't do the robot. Jack, I am not seeing any new poetry. I am not seeing any returning poetry of just yet. Them areas are actually blending in pretty good. Like I after the yard got overgrown and everything else, like now it's actually blending in pretty good in those areas. So I'm not seeing any new poetry of coming back in those areas just yet. I mean, it's hard to get rid of Triv forever. Like it's just one of those things. Uh, yep, Evan. Yep, do some. Get that hand watering. Get that hand watering going. Yep, that's not a bad idea. just pay attention to it, because I don't know. Like I said, if it's looking good, normally what I would say, the only reason I'm saying, because we actually have more rain coming on Thursday. So on Thursday, I think we're supposed to get another half inch on Thursday. We're supposed to get like another tenth of an inch on Friday. And I think it's supposed to rain, like chances of rain for like the next 4 days starting Thursday, I believe. So just trying to keep an eye on that balance, because if we got all of that rain, if you got any kind of shade cover or anything like that, you probably will be okay to survive through this heat until we get that additional rain that's coming in here on Thursday. So make sure you're keeping an eye on it, and if it starts telling you that it needs some water, don't hesitate. Just get it. Just give it a drink, and just kind of play by ear, because we're supposed to probably get like another inch of rain in that those 4 days that are coming up. So, doom doom doom. All right, so was it wet when you cut it? It was today. It was damp. Leaf blades were, for the most part, the leaf blades were dry. The soil was still fairly moist, but the leaf blades today were, for the most part, dry. Um, the cut, if you're talking about the cut that I was showing in the pictures, uh, that was from today. Before, I had to cut it wet twice before this. I just had to, or it was gonna be knee high by the time I got back around to it. So I just had to. I had to do those previous cuts were wet, but today the leaf blades were dry on it today. Is there other? Yes, I think there is a threshold. I think there is a threshold that you just stop, and it depends on what size your lawn is. I think is a big factor that goes into it, and how much you're actually going to spend on fungicides. I would say for the average homeowner, you probably can purchase, if you wanted to run methanoxam, you can run that through one, probably 1 quart will probably last you through the season. And then, because of the way that you'll be applying it, and then propiconazole. Honestly, propiconazole is so cheap. I won't call it. I mean, given the application rate, I would just buy a 2.5 gallon jug of that. Even if I like, even from the average homeowner, I would just buy a 2.5 gallon jug, and then you can just run that for a couple of seasons. And probably azoxystrobin the same way, if you just wanted to keep it simple and just run those three, and then you could do it that way. Um, but yeah, I think depending on what size, or you can do Armada, or you can just spend the money and do Armada, which is a combination of Group 3 and Group 11 herbicide. I mean, fungicide. And then that way you already have that combo. You just may need to buy something like a T methyl or something else to be able to rotate in there, and then you're not running just that application of group 3 and group 11 herbicides. You have another group that you can rotate in between. So yeah, man, I think there is a point. There is a point that you just say, all right, I'm done. I've done all I'm gonna do, and at this point, I'll just oversee. I'll just, whatever's dead and everything else that comes in, I'll just rake it out, detach it out, and overseed and just let it go. So yeah, I do. You just got to figure out where that threshold is for you. Am I bagging? Nope. Nope. I will go. I will clean my mower. So tomorrow, in between each one of my mows, I will go out, spray it down, clean it, soap and water underneath the deck, wheels, tires, all of that. But as far as bagging, no. Uh, Dethatching, I am a once a year kind of guy. Like I do it in the fall, right before I overseed, to open up the canopies so that I can go in and I can uh, get good seed to soil contact, clean out any of that debris that's in there, and that is the only time that I do it. Other than that, I don't really see a point of beating the lawn up that much for that little gain, especially if you come in again in the spring. Like if you just did it in the fall and you come in and you do it in the spring before the heat really hits, it really hasn't built up that much debris in the lawn that you're gonna see a whole lot of benefit in doing it. So I just think it's additional personal opinion. It's additional stress on the lawn that it doesn't need. That's not gonna You're not gonna get as much of a benefit in doing that, and it's extra work. Um, Polo talking about y'all extra dry. Yeah, we are the exact opposite right now. We have switched we have switched we have switched locations for sure. Yeah, I agree with Polo. Bagging it is the best, but I never bag. I just don't. Like it's extra work, it's extra it's extra clippings, it's extra all of this. I will clean my mower. Like I said, I will go clean my mower, but um yeah, I I don't. And the thing is like I've had disease in areas before, and I've been able to keep it localized by just kind of doing it that way. Um, Making sure I'm keeping my mower and stuff clean and all of that. Depends on how much yard you got and if you want to bag it and deal with all of that. I typically don't do that, but best practice, sure. Do I? No. Maryland's like a sauna right now. It is. That's exactly what it. That's exactly what it feels like. Is a sauna. Uh, yep, no problem. Same thing there. Yep. All right, let me see what you're working with there, Evan. Wait a minute. So Evan, or would it be better to go down with Phoenix? Um, I agree with giving it a little food. It's just hot right now. And spraying a liquid right now is a little risky. It is a little risky right now. A tenth of a pound isn't going to be bad. I would I would do a evening. I would wait till it cools off because I think we're supposed to get down to like. There's a point where I think it's gonna be 80. We're gonna get down to like 85 ish for the highs sometime early next week or over the weekend. I would wait till it cools down and I would spray it one evening. I don't know where I was saying that at. Oh, Friday. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So Friday is supposed to be a high of 79. Saturday is supposed to be 86. So during that period, if it's time for your next fungicide application, I would go down Thursday evening, but it's supposed to rain a half inch Thursday evening. So either Friday or Saturday, I'd say Friday evening, I would go down with your fungicide application. If it's time for you to get your fungicide application down, go down with that fungicide application. You can drop a tenth of a pound in there, and then you should be good after that. I'd say if you wanted to do like a product water in cycle on Saturday morning after you put that down, that following mortar, just give it a little bit of water just to wash that product off of the leaf blade, because you let it sit all night, your fungicide is already did most of its absorption and all of that, and then you can water that in that way also. Water that in, and you've also absorbed that tenth of a pound of N into the grass blade. So you can you can take it that route, or you can just go down with Phoenix and just be safer if you wanted to, because it's going to be a granular. It'll need to get watered in. It'll be a little less risky than right now. So those are your two options. Okay. Martin Peterson, you've been bagging. Yeah, ain't ain't no problem with bagging. You're just removing some of those nutrients from the soil or whatnot, or just not cycling them back through. But it's not a problem at all. I typically just don't bag. I'm not a bagging kind of guy. That's why I cut so frequently. Like that's why I cut as often as I do, because I do not like bagging and I'm not a fan. It's just extra work. I make like two or three passes down, and then I gotta go dump the bag, and then I make some more passes, and then I gotta go dump the bag. It just messes up my flow of enjoying mowing. So that's why I mow as frequently as I do, to make sure I don't have to worry about that, and I just mulch my clippings and stuff right back in. So, all right, finally made it down to the bottom. That is it. That is it. I am getting ready to go grab me a quick bite to eat out of the kitchen, pack my lunch up for tomorrow, and I am going to lay it down. And it is 11:43, so my son is probably getting ready to wake up sometime in the next 15 to 30 minutes. So I will holler at y'all later. And again, I appreciate it. Thank y'all. Like I said, I hit the 24,000 subs today. And I just wanted to come in here and just to say thank y'all. I appreciate it. I appreciate the support. Continue to support. Show other people the channel. Tell everybody about the channel. Share the content. Share the videos. Hit that like and subscribe button and all of that when the videos drop. And again, I appreciate it. Phoenix is available. You can purchase Phoenix. It is out there. And you can also purchase the Elm Street Elite Grass Seed. So you can get ready for your fall overseeds and renovation. Those are available also. And you can put the two of them together and have you a banging lawn this fall, and going into spring of next year. I'm telling you, you can you can ask Polo. You can take a look at what Polo's working with that renovation. How nice that came in his backyard. So, yeah, man, make sure y'all are checking out those things, and make sure you're getting your fungicides down. And again, I appreciate it, y'all. Yeah, appreciate all the congrats and everything. All right, I will catch y'all later, and y'all have a good one.